Hello, this is Isekai Shash, and I have another video that you should listen to. It's going to be a very interesting one, so please stick around to hear what I have to say. Today's video is going to be on how not to summon a Demon Lord, and why Diablo does not use magic reflection as much as he should, or why he never really uses it at all. Here is where I got the inspiration to make the video. Thank you. It was brought to my attention that magic reflection is not used that much in how not to summon a demon lord. So I questioned myself, why isn't magic reflection used more in this show? It was brought to our attention when, in the first episode, he went against a couple, and then he equipped his demon lord ring. Then, when the mage attacked him, he reflected the damage, and I think he did a special move. By that I mean a magical ability. I don't know what exactly it was. And boom, he won. In the same episode, in the scene where he wakes up from his slumber, he gets transported to a new world, and Rim and Shara were both kissing him. His demon lord's ring reflected the magic, and the collars were on both girls instead of Diablo. Though it was very helpful in the beginning, we really don't see it that much in how not to summon a demon lord, and there's very big reasons to why that is. The first reason is, not a lot of people use elemental sorcery or elemental magic. It's just because, well, everybody thinks it's weak. It was not explained too well in the anime, but it was explained somewhat decently in the light novel. People who use elemental sorcery seriously just use it for party tricks. So basically, in the real world explanation, you know how we know magic tricks are all about illusions? They basically say it's like magic tricks. It's useless, really. I'm not saying it's useless in the real world. Please don't try trash talking me in the comments. In the world where monsters are out to get you, and there's a exact species of monster that just wants to delete all of the mortal races, magic tricks aren't the best thing to use in a world filled with monsters out there to kill you. And hell, most people decide to be summoners, and summoners just throw gems which are like Pokeballs, and monsters come out. That's the majority of the world. Not many people actually go the route of the elemental sorcerer because of how big of the up curve it is to actually do a lot of damage. Like, it takes a long time to actually use very powerful magic like Diablo. Magic is a very complicated thing in how not to summon a demon lord, because there are elemental sorcerers and just elemental attacks in general. Elemental sorcerers somehow use elemental things to actually cast magic, and elemental resources or elemental attacks are just the basic form of elements. I would say first you have to gather the necessary MP for a spell. After you use the MP, you either A, gather the elemental resources around you, or you use the MP and generate it yourself, forming it to take shape of the spell, and then you release the spell at your designated target. So the first piece of evidence that I gave you was not many people actually know elemental sorcery, so it'd actually be very hard for Diablo to encounter someone where he can actually reflect magic. The second piece of evidence being sentient. Now, when he went against the Fallen and against one of the most powerful demons, I'm guessing in the second season, what happened was, once they learned that he had magic reflection, they were not so keen on using spells. Because you gotta think about it. I'll be using some real world knowledge so you guys would understand why this idea would make sense. The 22 short is a very small and somewhat weak bullet. I say somewhat weak because you can still kill a person with a 22, but that's besides the point. If you shoot a 22 at a tank, it will just bounce off and do absolutely nothing. So in this scenario, everybody, if you had a 22 and it bounced off a tank, would you keep shooting the 22? No, in real life you would run and probably try to never ever encounter that thing ever again. So when sentient beings gain the knowledge that something won't work, do you really think they're going to keep doing it over and over again until something works? No. That's why, especially in the second season, Omega, when he was fighting the demon told his wife not to attack, not to use magic, because the demon lord, Diablo, could just bounce it right back at them. It's not like in a video game where an AI that uses magic would keep attacking you with magic and you can just bounce it right off. in the real world or in a scenario when there's real life sentient beings, they will realize magic doesn't work and try to take him out using other methods. So the second piece of evidence would be knowledge and sentient beings. There were other times when magic was deflected, but I don't want to go over all of them. I just wanted to state why magic reflection was not used very much during this show. This might be a spoiler, so I don't want to go too deep into it, but magic reflection is not going to be a very important thing in this show. It's just nice when it does happen, but it's not a very important big thing in the show like it was in the beginning, when it actually saved him from being a slave. Though this is just my evidence and thought process that I thought of. If anyone has other ideas of the subject that I'm talking about, please let me know down in the comments down below, and I will address them as I please. That sounds very pompous, but I did not mean it to come out that way. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I do hope you have a great day or night wherever you live.